What's up again, Wrestling Figs fans? And we're back with another quick video where we're going to take a look at a couple of my figures from the Wrestlemania Elite line. And to start it off, we're going to look at Brock Lesnar. So like I say, this is from the Wrestlemania Elite series, and you get bonus points if you can tell me what WrestleMania this is. But it's got pretty nice packaging on there. You got Brock Lesnar on the side of the box. It's a bit of a funny looking Brock Lesnar if you ask me. It almost looks like the modern Brock Lesnar, but they've tried to de-age him somehow. So it looks a bit weird, but it's just a picture, so let's move on. On the back of the box, we've got younger Brock Lesnar, and now this one actually looks like what Brock Lesnar looked like when he was young, instead of this weird sort of picture on the side here. But anyway, it's a pretty cool picture of Brock Lesnar when he was a bit more big and less toned. Now this figure represents Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 20, like it says in the corner here. And on the back we got some details, his height, his weight, his signature moves, where he's from, etc. So if you want to check that out, you can now. If not, let's take a look at the figure. Now before we get to the figure itself, let's have a look at the accessories. And the first thing that Brock Lesnar comes with is this cool little vest here. Or I guess it's more like a tank top, and it's got Brock Lesnar's old catchphrase on there, "Here comes the pain." Now on the back of this tank top, it also has Brock Lesnar's tattoo from his back on the back of there. But obviously we can't see that because we're not going to take it out of the box. But if you want to look it up, I suggest you get this figure because it looks great. Now the second accessory that this figure comes with is that WWE Undisputed Champion Championship belt. Now I think this is a really cool belt. As you can see, it's got a really nice shine to it. The details all there. Not much colour obviously, but I don't think that belt actually had anything on there apart from gold and black. I think that's a really good looking title in there. It's never one of my favourite belts, but just looking at this figure, it's probably one of my favourite figure belts, to be honest. So we've got a t-shirt, which is nice. We've got a belt, which is always really cool. But what about the figure itself? So this is based on Lesnar's very first run in the WWE, and I guess technically it's also based on his final match during his first run. His final match being against Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, like we said. Now Lesnar's gear back then was very basic. You got the black boots, black knee pads, black wristbands, there's no elbow pads, plain black pants. There might be something on the back of the pants, I'm not 100%. I think the body looks really good on this figure. It looks just like Brock Lesnar. As for the face scan, I'm not usually a fan of these sort of screaming faces, but I think for Brock Lesnar it kind of works because he is known for screaming and shouting during his matches and promos. So unlike most screaming faces, I think this one actually works. So yeah, I actually really like this figure. It's basic, but it's really good. And if you're a Brock Lesnar fan, I recommend getting this one. If you're a belt collector, you definitely need that title in your collection. Now the next figure that we're going to be taking a look at is Shawn Michaels. Now once again, this is the Wrestlemania Elite line, and bonus points for you if you can guess which Wrestlemania this is. The packaging is very similar to the Brock Lesnar one, except from the Wrestlemania logo and the color scheme. On the side of the packaging we've got a nice picture of Shawn Michaels. On the other side, the same. On the back of the packaging we've got that same picture, except we see a little bit more of Shawn Michaels' torso and body in this one, but there's no actual details on here, just Shawn Michaels' name. The figure itself also comes with a championship title, this one being the Winged Eagle. Now I've lost count of how many Winged Eagles I actually have in my collection now, but I think that you can never have too many belts, especially when they're as detailed and as cool looking as these. So this figure is actually based on Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 12 when he took on Bret Hart for that world title in a 60-minute Iron Man match. The match actually went over 60 minutes and is probably one of the best WrestleMania, if not just best matches ever in general. Going back to the Brock Lesnar and talking about matches, this match represents the one against Goldberg, which I think was actually voted or is recognized as one of the worst WrestleMania matches in history, as both wrestlers were leaving the company and basically they didn't want to get injured when they went on to their next job, so they didn't want to do any big moves. There's a lot of just tie-ups, lock-ups, and then about 2 or 3 high-impact moves and the match ends. Personally, I think it's actually a good match, even though it's not much happening. It's just two big guys scouting each other out during a match, and then bang, just hitting a couple of big moves and it's over. I like the way the match goes, but I can understand why people would hate it. But this match is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum and is seen as either the best match or one of the best matches ever. So if you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend checking out Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. So accessory wise, you only get that belt, but look at that figure. If you're a fan of Shawn Michaels or WrestleMania, you need this figure in your collection. He's got those old school Shawn Michaels style tights instead of the more baggy pants that he wore in later years. And this is an iconic look for Shawn Michaels. If you can see in there, you've got a nice bit of hair detail on the stomach and on the chest, which is a nice little touch. As for the face, I can definitely see Shawn Michaels in this face scan, but at the same time, I feel like it's an older Shawn Michaels and doesn't fully represent what he looked like back in his younger days. So I really like this figure, and if you're a Shawn Michaels fan like myself, you've got to have this figure. You need this figure in your collection. That said, I actually prefer the Brock Lesnar figure, and even though I'm more of a Shawn Michaels fan, and this is a very, very basic figure, I don't know, there's just something about it, something that really calls out to me. I really like this figure, and I've already got so many of these belts, so to have this Undisputed Championship just sort of like gives it that little edge for me. But yeah, what do you think? Which one do you prefer, or who are you more of a fan of? Are you more of a Shawn Michaels fan, or are you more of a Brock Lesnar fan? Do you prefer the Undisputed Championship, or do you prefer the Winged Eagle Championship? And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. And don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling figs.